World of Warcraft holds a special place in my heart. I was a young teenager when WoW was released back in 2004, and I had never experienced anything like it before. The world really sucked you in. It felt lived in, a real place. It was something that every game before it and after it failed to replicate. I started out as a night elf rogue, had no idea what I was doing. I just thought they looked cool. I would fumble my way through the early levels, skipping all the quest texts, died a lot, and then would re-roll another character instead of doing my homework or going to bed at a decent hour. I never got very far in the game. At the time, RPGs were a little too complex for me. I was content causing havoc in GTA San Andreas.
Straight back into the game, right, dog?
But I'll always remember the first time I walked into Darnassus at level 10. My mind was blown at the scale of the world. I never got past level 22. Life got in the way, I had other hobbies, played other games, and couldn't afford the subscription price without a job. I never really got the full classic WoW experience from level 1 to 60 back in the day. That changes today. I've decided to do a full playthrough run from level 1 to 60 on a Tauren Shaman, because they look cool and are tight with nature. But the caveat that we are not speeding our way there. We're going to take our time. We'll read every quest, get sucked into the lore, use minimal add-ons, and hopefully get a glimpse of why this game is special to so many. Welcome to Path of the Earthmother.
Once a nomadic people, the Tauren roamed the endless plains of the Barrens, hunting the mighty Kodo. Scattered across the land, the wandering tribes were united only by their common hatred for their sworn enemy, the marauding Centaur. Seeking aid against the Centaur, the great chieftain Cairn Bloodhoof befriended the savage orcs who had recently journeyed to Kalimdor. With the orcs' help, Cairn and his tribe were able to drive back the Centaur and claim the grasslands of Mulgore for their own. Upon the windswept mesa of Thunder Bluff, Cairn built a refuge for his people. Over time, the scattered tribes united under a single banner. Though the noble Tauren are peaceful in nature, the rites of the Great Hunt are venerated as the heart of their spiritual culture. As a tribesman of Mulgore, you must test your skills in the wild and prove yourself in the Great Hunt.
And so begins the journey of Stormhuf, a Tauren Shaman who has just arrived to Camp Narache, ready to go and make our mark on the world. We speak with Gruul Hawkwind, who says news of our arrival has spread quickly among the tribe. He asks us to prove ourselves to the tribe, and in turn his father, Chief Hawkwind. The supply of meat has run low, and they require feathers for clothing. We are tasked with bringing back Plainstrider feathers and meat, and so we begin our first quest.
Be careful.
We head south of Camp Narache and start hunting Plainstriders. In order to keep the immersion, I'm using limited add-ons for this playthrough. I am using Questy to keep track of my quests and quest givers, but I have the objective locations turned off on my minimap and my main map, which will force me to actually read the quests and listen to directions. We head back to camp, giving the meats and feathers to Gruul Hawkwind, which should put us in good graces with the chief. We also receive a new belt as a reward. Gruul tells us that a messenger was looking for us, who was sent by a shaman trainer, Mila Dawnstrider. She should be able to teach us new abilities. Gruul also asks us to bring him mountain cougar pelts, as the children need clothing and the tents need mending. Before heading south to hunt cougars, we stop by the shaman trainer, who teaches us Rockbiter weapon. This is a 5-minute buff to an equipped primary weapon that increases our melee attack power by 33, so extra damage for our weapon. It also gives a neat animation around the imbued weapon. As we receive new abilities from trainers, I will go over their effects and use cases, but keep in mind that I'm not an expert and a lot of these abilities are going to be new to me as well. We introduce ourselves to the big chief, Chief Hawkwind, who's Grull's dad, and asks us to seek out his mother who went to the well southeast of Narache to fetch some water, but hasn't returned. I'm sure she's fine. We leave the camp and head southeast, as the well is visible from here. We find Grandma Hawkwind, who seems impressed that we traveled 30 seconds to help an old woman. Since her old legs do not have the vigor as our own, she asks us to bring the pitcher of water to her son, the chief. Remember that even the most humble task can gain the recognition of the elders. Instead of heading straight back to camp, we head south to hunt cougars for our pal Grull. Back at camp, we return to Grull with the cougar pelts, who says he will pass word along to his father of our deeds. We also get some nice bracers as a reward. While speaking with Grull, he informs us that the battle boars to the east are encroaching on our tribal hunting grounds. The battle boars are trained by the malicious kill boars with whom we are at war with. Time to go slay some battle boars then. After Grull, we speak with brave Windfeather in the camp center, who asks for the head of Sharp Tusk Thornmantle, the leader of the bristleback killboars in the ravine to the east. Seeing as we are at war with them, we decide to oblige. We'll be murdering battle boars for Grull, so we'll be in the area anyways. We speak to the chief and hand him the water pitcher from his mother. Our willingness to help others and provide for the Tauren of Camp Narache leads him to believe that we will make the tribe proud in Thunderbluff one day. But before then, we need to embark on the rites of the Earthmother, of which there are 3. The first test is the Rite of Strength. We will need to travel to Seer Greytongue to the south and tell him that the chief sent us. While traveling south, we can see a small camp on the ridge. This is probably where Seer Greytongue is hiding. We find Seer Greytongue next to this huge bonfire, which upon reflection is not really hiding. For this Rite of Strength, we must prove our bravery by slaying enemies of the tribe, and you guessed it, bristleback killboars. From Bristleback Ravine to the east, they are encroaching on our tribal lands. They ambush hunting parties and steal from the village by dark. He wants us to slay bristlebacks and bring back 12 bristleback belts to the chief in Camp Narache. We look to the east, past Camp Narache. Time to travel to Bristleback Ravine and take care of some business. Right in front of the ravine, we run into some battle boars. These are the boars that have been maliciously trained by the kill boar to be aggressive. There's no saving them, so we must quell the threat and bring balance to nature. While making short work of the battle boars, we hit level 4. Once we killed enough, we'll turn around and head back to Camp Narache to turn in the quest and learn new abilities from our trainer. In classic World of Warcraft, you learn new abilities every 2 levels at a class trainer. So every time we hit an even numbered level, like 4, 6, 8, it's a good idea to visit a trainer to upgrade old spells and learn new ones. At level 4, we learn Earth Shock, which is an instant cast damage spell that does between 17 and 19 nature damage making it great for melee range. It has a 6-second cooldown and also interrupts enemy spell casting, preventing any spell in that school being cast for 2 seconds. I'll use this ability for some instant damage, but we'll try to save it for times when enemies are casting important abilities like heals in order to stop those abilities from going off. I bring the battle boar snouts and flanks to Groll to prove that I've been laying waste to them. He'll use the ingredients to make a fine stew, and we get a new vest for our troubles. We meet Seer Ravenfeather in the village who has a test for us, but first we must seek out the bristleback shamans to the east and take from them a salve they use for rituals. We will need them to make our own potion. And with that quest in hand, we have a lot to do with the bristleback killboars to the east, so we head towards the ravine. While eliminating killboars, I noticed something that I never saw before. Some kind of wall art or graffiti in the rock face here. I'm not entirely sure what this is, and if anybody knows, please let me know in the comments down below. While fighting through the ravine, we come across a cave that has a map on the ground. After evaluating the map, we realize these are plans made by the Bristleback war chief for an extended siege on Camp Narache, which reminds me we need his head. We will bring this map to Chief Hawkwind on our way back. Leaving the cave, we find the biggest hut and the infamous Chief Sharptusk Thornmantle, so we remove his head, take the shaman salves and bristleback belts, and head back to Camp Narache. We give Chief Sharptusk's head to Brave Windfeather in exchange for some new gloves. Fit check. Not too bad. We bring the salves to Seer Ravenfeather, who agrees to make a sapta for us. Fused with magic, this potion will allow the open-minded to see the elements as no one has seen them before. Our spirit will be forever tied to the element the sapta was created for, and only a few of our kind know the secrets of its creation. The sapta is always imbibed in a holy place and never anywhere else. We must seek out the shaman shrine to the east and drink the earth sapta. Now, this is a shaman-specific quest and really adds to the immersion that only we get to experience this, while another class like a warrior doesn't. We hand the bristleback belts and the attack plans to Chief Hawkwind, who gives us a new mace and shield for our efforts. He hands us a totem that we need to take to Blaine Bloodhoof, son of Cairn Bloodhoof, in the aptly named Bloodhoof village. This is the first real village outside of the starting zone and will be a launch pad for our adventure. With most of the issues in Camp Narache dealt with, we head east to the Shaman Shrine. Upon reaching the shrine, we drink the sapta and have a vision of a minor manifestation of Earth, although I'd say this looks anything but minor. The Earth speaks to us. Bound together in body and spirit, you will go forward knowing that the mountains are your strength, the plains your patience, and the world itself your essence. Standing before the Earth humbly is all that is required for you to pass this rite. But the others are not as passive. They may be chaotic and often violent, but such is the nature of the elements. Dual natures opposing one another, you must come to learn these things intricately. We are given a rough quartz, which is proof of the meeting. We are asked to bring this to Seer Ravenfeather, who will craft a totem for us, in this case the Earth Totem. Now, shamans tame the elements of earth, fire, wind, and water, and there's a totem for each element. The totems are actual physical items that are placed on the ground and give effects to the players, adding to the shaman's toolkit. We head back to Seer Ravenfeather, who makes us our first totem, the Earth Totem. With that, we also learn the ability Stoneskin Totem, which summons a Stoneskin Totem with 5 health at the feet of the caster. The totem protects party members within 20 yards, reducing melee damage taken by 4, and lasts for 2 minutes. This could be really useful in reducing damage taken, and becomes more effective the more enemy is attacking, and the faster their attack speed. What the tooltip does not tell you is that you can only have 1 totem from each element active at a time. So if I learn different Earth Totem spells, only 1 can be used at a time, forcing us to make some tactical decisions in combat. And now, with the knowledge of the Earth elements, we leave Camp Narache and the safety of Red Mesa, and travel into the greater area of Mulgore. After rounding down the hill, we can see Bloodhoof village in the distance past the lake. It will be our temporary home for a while on our journey. After gaining recognition in Camp Narache, we look to make a name for ourselves in Bloodhoof village, so that we can be finally recognized in Thunderbluff, the capital city of the Tauren. We meet Bane Bloodhoof in the village center, who we give the totem by Chief Hawkstrider to complete the rites of the Earthmother. He gives us a task to take care of some pale-maned gnolls who have settled to the south of Bloodhoof village. They disrespect our attempts to communicate with them, and they slay wildlife of Mulgore unbridled. Words are no longer the answer. I like this Bane guy already. Bane also tells us of our next rite, the Rite of Vision, which will help guide us towards earning the respect of the elders of Thunderbluff. We will need to speak with Zariman 2 Moons in order to take part in this ritualistic vision. Before we do anything else, we pay a visit to the local shaman trainer and pick up some new skills since we recently hit level 6. The first one we'll pick up is Earthbind Totem, which is another totem ability, and this summons an Earthbind Totem with 5 health at the feet of the caster for 45 seconds that slows the movement speed of enemies within 10 yards. This can be very useful if you're trying to kite enemies or trying to run away. We also learn an improved rank of Healing Wave, which ups the healing from 64 to 78 at the cost of more mana and a slightly longer cast time. Next to the trainer, we meet Harkin Wind Totem, who asked me to bring swoop quills to him, as they are a badge of cleverness and determination as a hunter. Bring him quills and bring honor to our clan. Swoops are like bird-like creatures that roam the plains of Mulgore, and I'm sure we won't have too much trouble hunting them down. We meet Mull Thunderhorn outside, who tells us that goblins and their servants have tainted our sacred wells, and they are in need of cleansing. We need to collect some paws from wolves and talons from Planestriders in order to create a cleansing totem to deal with the tainted well. Bane Bloodhoof flags us down again, telling us that dwarves have been spotted preparing a dig site to the northwest. They think secrets lie within the earth, and that is true, but hallowing and defiling the land is no way to earn its teachings. Bane wants us to collect some prospector picks from the site and destroy them. Before leaving the village, we also meet Rule Eagletalon. He says if we wish to test our strength, and obviously we do, then we should seek out Wind Fury Harpies to the southeast along the mountain edges. They are one of our natural enemies here in Mulgore and would be a good gauge of our skill. These big villages and towns are a huge quest hub in most zones, so it can be normal to find a lot of quests all at once, and we're not even done yet. We meet Maur Raincaller, who has a very bad bite infection from Mazranash, a great strider that his grandfather had told great tales of battles against. Clearly, our friend Mao here was not ready for Mazranash and is quite injured. He wants us to collect a wolf heart, cougar femur, plain strider scale, and swoop gizzard in order to clean his infection. We already have some quests that require us to hunt these animals, so we might as well help a brother out. We find Zalman 2 Moons, who Bane asked us to seek out for the Rite of Vision. In order to pass the rite, we will need to gather the reagents needed to make the Water of the Seer's Sapta. In this case, some wellstones and ambercorns, both of which I should most likely run into while questing. With our quest log packed to the brim, we leave Bloodhoof village to the south and start hunting down some wildlife. While traveling south, we come across that well that we need to cleanse once we collect enough ingredients for the cleansing totem. For now, we can find some well stones next to the well. Go figure. While exploring to the south, we come across Morin Cloudstalker on the road. A few days ago, he found a Venture Co caravan traveling under guard on the northern shore of Stonebull Lake. Morin and company moved in to attack and lay waste to the caravan. They left their supply crates but torched almost everything. Morin has noticed some Venture Co salvagers in the area and would like us to investigate if maybe something of value remains. Now, Venture Co is a company of greedy goblins, and I'm sure this will not be the first time we run into them during our adventures. While hunting more wildlife, we can actually see the smoke from the caravan on the other side of the lake. We need to eventually make our way over there. We collected enough animal parts to make our way back to Mul Thunderhorn, who can now create a cleansing totem for us to cleanse that well to the south. We visit Zarman 2 Moons in town with the ingredients he requires to prepare us the Water of Seers. We have to consume the Water of Seers next to the tribal fire, and after a few moments a vision should appear. We will need to follow that vision in order to complete the Rite of Vision. We place the Water of Seers in our backpack for now, as we will drink this when we're ready. We stumble across a local cook in the main hut of town who teaches us cooking. This will help us turn raw ingredients we find in the wild into usable food items that can help us restore health in between battles, and also sometimes give us small buffs. With our bag full of some tasty herb-baked eggs, we head south once again, back to the well to use our newly made cleansing totem. We cleanse the well using the totem, which now gives off a nice blue hue. Further south, along the mountainside, we can see the Pale-Mane gnolls that we've been asked to deal with. After defeating one of the Pale-Mane skinners, he drops a mace that is an upgrade from the one that we are currently using. With our bags full, we head back to Bloodhoof village and seek out Mul Thunderhorn to inform him that we have indeed cleansed the well to the south. We have done a great thing for the land, and a great thing for the Tauren people. Already the beasts near the well drink from it eagerly, but our work is not complete. There is another well that requires cleansing, which means more ingredients for another cleansing totem. We pay a quick visit to Harken Wind Totem to hand in our swoop quills. In doing this, we prove that we are a shaman of merit. We also get some coin and some experience for our troubles. We return to Bane in the village center, telling him of our adventure killing Pale-Mane gnolls and the cool mace that I stole from them. Bane reiterates that respect of the land and its creatures is important, and because of this, we had to put down the gnolls. Death and life are a circle, a necessity. One cannot exist without the other. Bane would like us to ponder on this and do well to never forget it. I think it will help a lot to justify all the killing that we're going to be doing on our way to level 60. So thank you, Bane. We empty out our bags while we're in town, and since we are now level 8, we swing by our shaman trainer to see what new things we can learn. We get an upgraded version of Rockbiter weapon, which adds more attack power, so we need to make sure this is always active. And we learn Lightning Shield, which surrounds us with 3 lightning balls. Now when a spell or melee attack hits us, the attacker will be struck by 13 nature damage, expending one of the lightning balls. Only one ball will fire every few seconds, seconds and it lasts for 10 minutes. So this is a pretty useful buff to have before heading into battle, but it is very mana intensive, so it's not very feasible to use before every fight. We also get upgrades to Earth Shock and Lightning Bolt, which increase damage output as well as increased mana costs. We get Stoneclaw Totem, an earth-based totem that has 50 health instead of the usual 5, and taunts creatures within a small 8-yard radius to attack it, and it lasts for 15 seconds. Now this is a useful tool to have if fighting more than one creature, and could also be helpful distraction if you're trying to run away. All of this learning has made us a little tired, so we go to the local inn to take a quick nap. Take a quick nap. After our nap, we head outside on the way to the tribal fire to start the Rite of Vision, but we get distracted on the way by some Kodo mounts that are for sale here. Now, mounts help you travel faster across the world of Azeroth, but we need to be level 40 before we can train to ride them properly. Kodos are the Tauren's race mounts. The big Tauren require a big, strong mount, and these guys look pretty badass. We make our way to the tribal fire, where we start drinking the Vision Sapta, which takes a really long time to drink for some reason. The plains vision, a ghost wolf appears, so we follow the wolf north. While following the vision, we discover the towering capital city of Thunderbluff, high up on the rises. It overlooks the plains of Mulgore. We should head there afterwards to see what we could find. The vision leads us to a cave where we meet Seer Wise Runner, who tells us that we have passed the Rite of Vision and gives us some new boots. To gain the acceptance amongst the elders of Thunderbluff, we must next complete the Rite of Wisdom. Now that we have passed the Rite of Vision, the ancestral spirits of Red Rocks will give us the blessing of our ancestors. Only those who have drunk from the water of seers can gain this blessing. We must travel east of Thunderbluff to Red Rocks and seek out the ancestral spirit. Coming out from the cave, we are essentially at Thunderbluff's doorstep, so we decide to go check out the city for ourselves. The city of Thunderbluff is a bustling location and contains everything you need from a bank, an auction house, class trainers, profession trainers, you name it. Upon entering, Iya Eagle Talon flags us down. He needs help completing a headdress he is making for his brother to stand before the great chief Bloodhoof. Iya is going to tan the leather straps and would like us to collect specific feathers from the Heartbeast to the west. As a reward, we can choose between a new chest piece or a new shield, both of which would be nice upgrades. We head to the central tower so we can rise up a level and go learn some primary professions. Now, they're unlike secondary professions. As secondary professions are the likes of cooking, fishing, no restrictions on these, everyone can learn them and you could learn all of them. Primary professions are different. You can only learn 2 at a time. There are gathering professions and crafting professions. So gathering you have like mining and herbalism, and crafting you have cool things like blacksmithing, engineering, alchemy, enchanting, and tailoring. Most crafting professions require a specific gathering profession. So in our case, we are going to become an herbalist to gather herbs, and we're going to learn alchemy to turn those gathered herbs into potions. We take the elevator down, back to the plains of Mulgore, and hug the hills to the east, looking for the dwarven dig site that Bane had informed us of earlier. We eventually come across an area with tree stumps and fallen down trees, and sure enough, we can see some wooden planks against the mountain soil. Must be the work of dwarves. We work our way up and start to dispatch of the workers, collecting their tools in the process. We fight our way all the way to the Dwarven Forge, and then we use that same forge to destroy their own tools. Bane Bloodhoof should be proud. We work our way back to Bloodhoof Village, taking out any wildlife on the way to collect ingredients for our new cleansing totem. Upon returning to Bloodhoof Village, we meet Maur Raincaller, as we collected all of the sparse ingredients he required to help heal his wounds. I thought for sure that he would give us a quest to kill the great Mazranash, but alas, he doesn't. I wonder if this will come back at a later time. We meet Bane in the town center and show him the broken tools. He hopes this will teach the dwarves that hallowing the land is not the path to knowledge. He gives us some new pants. Leaving Bloodhoof Village, we can see the burned caravan of the Venture Co to the east, and now we have time to go check it out. After convincing some Venture Co members to sit down and take a nap, we find a crate stamped with the sign of the Venture Co mining division. Notes printed carefully on the side of the crate indicate that the contents are due for processing at one of their central plants. We pry open the crate and reveal a tightly packed assortment of ore and minerals, more evidence of the Venture Co's mining operation in Mulgore. On top of the ore and minerals, we remove a tightly bound sheaf of papers. Up in the foothills to the east, we can barely hear the sounds of work and see smoke rising from a large fire. We should bring these documents back to Morin Cloudstalker, as he'll want to know what we have found. We meet Morin on the road nearby. He calls them greedy little things, and the Tauren cannot allow them to conduct their operations on our lands. He wants us to go to the mine northeast of the ravaged caravan and send them a message. That message being kill a whole lot of them. Now, according to the documents we salvaged from the caravan, the Venture Co created many plans to attempt to drive us away from our lands here, so that they could have free reign to plunder our lands. The depths that they would sink to accomplish their goals disgusts and appalls Morin. He wants the mastermind of these plans to be killed, Supervisor Fitzbrocket, who should be in the same mine as the others. He wants us to bring him his clipboard, hoping we can find something useful. And with that, we head east towards the mine to show the Venture Co that they cannot steal resources on Tauren land without repercussions. We work our way slowly into the mine, taking them out one at a time. We eventually find Supervisor Fitzbrocket, but he is accompanied closely by some workers, and is 3 levels above me. It's time to use all of my toolkit. It's time to, as the Tauren would say, lock in. With clipboard in hand, we make our way out of the mine and go down to the road to meet Morin. He keeps us in suspense about the contents of the clipboard, but he's happy to hear that Fitzbrocket is no more. As for killing all of those Venture Co employees, Morin believes that the Venture Co will know not to take the Tauren lightly, or to be so arrogant as to believe we would allow them to steal the natural resources around us without protest. We make our way back to Bloodhoof Village and visit our friend Mole Thunderhorn, who we have all the ingredients for another cleansing totem. He gives us the fabricated totem and tells us to use it on Thunderhorn Waterwell north of the village. I wonder if it was named after him. We head north of the village and find the well, take out some Venture Co while we're there, and cleanse the well, same as before. Upon our return, Mul is relieved and hands us the Thunderhorn cloak to protect our backs. Literally. Obviously, there is one more well to cleanse, so he gives us another list of ingredients for the cleansing totem and sends us on our way. We also hit level 10, which has a lot of implications of what we can do next as a character. We pick up a few new fire spells from our shaman trainer. Foreshadowing, maybe? We get Flame Shock, which is an instant cast like Earth Shock that does some initial damage and more damage over time. We also pick up Flame Tongue Weapon, which is an imbue similar to Rockbiter Weapon. Where Rockbiter adds attack power and increased threat, Flame Tongue adds additional fire damage to each melee swing that scales to the weapon speed. So this will be a lot more useful when attempting group content, and I don't want to be pulling threat. Lastly, we pick up Strength of the Earth Totem, which lasts for 2 minutes and increases the strength of party members within 20 yards. Very useful when doing group content for melee users. Now our trainer also has a special task for us. Long has it been since we were last tested. We've shown patience thus far in our studies, but the time has come for us to learn more. The time has come for us to learn about destruction and chaos. The element of fire is ours for the understanding, if we're prepared to pay for it. We must seek out Cranial Fists in the Barrens. He lives in a small dwelling north of the crossroads. Where are the Barrens anyways? At long last, our adventurer Stormhuf has become exhausted and goes to the inn for rest. Before hitting the hay, we need to take a look at our talents that unlock at level 10 for each class. There are 3 talent trees, which can have minor or major effects on how you play your class. For us, we are going to be focusing on the enhancement tree. This is more melee focused damage playstyle. Elemental will focus more on improved spellcasting, while restoration will focus on healing and is a must if we want to be a healer for groups. Since we won't be keeping the shield forever, and we eventually want to move to two-handed weapons, we will place a point in additional mana for Mao. And with that brings us to the end of the first episode of Path of the Earthmother. What other stories does Mulgore hold for us? How treacherous is the journey to the Barrens? What else is the Venture Co up to? Will we be able to tame the chaotic destruction of the element of fire? Who is Moobleboo? Make sure to subscribe and come back for the next episode where we journey past level 10 and brave the famous Barrens of Kalimdor. I hope you enjoyed this first episode of a condensed story-focused playthrough. I'm working through a 200-hour plus playthrough and bringing you the story highlights as we continue the adventure of the Tauren Shaman Stormhuf. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.